Welcome to Pipe On Sports this week, everybody. It's me, Francesco. Along with me is
Nene.
Jimmy Dugan.
And tonight, we have a very special night. We have a big interview coming up a little bit later on in the show with Anthony Pepe.
Yep.
He's going to be he's a PBA pro. Going to be on the show with us tonight.
Can't wait to have him on. Got a lot of questions for him.
A lot of questions.
Very interesting.
The fans are already interacting. Fans have a few questions they want us to ask him. We'll definitely be relaying the messages from our fans off Twitter. And we're going to, kick into some PBA action. There was a time when ESPN had PBA on over the NHL.
Listen, on
Still
Sunday.
on Sundays.
PBA.
Yeah, it's still on.
Sunday.
I put PBA bowling on during Sunday football, and I'll be very honest. I get interested. I get into these matches, man.
I love
used
when
to
they
bowl.
get the trick shot stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
They, I'm wearing Raiders attire again. I do want to make note of this. I'm really sick of this team. I didn't want this to be this way this season. I didn't expect this. I thought one win would be, all right, you beat the Chiefs. Okay, that's impressive. But you win again?
That's a great shirt. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, I made sure, Nelly. I made sure. Yes.
Kidding me, Monk?
Not only that Oakland won, is that the kid Derek Carr looked phenomenal. What do you think, Foz? I mean,
They dominated that game. I mean, San Francisco's done. They really are. They're done this year. Harbaugh, thanks for coming. Pack your bags. You're out of there. It's just
All right,
the team is.
but here's what I'm asking. Monk, does Harbaugh go to
Michigan.
Okay, question answered. I was going to say, is he going to Michigan or is he going to be a New York Jet head coach?
He already bought a house.
You think his mind is already down?
He's in Ann Arbor as we
He already
speak.
put it down.
See, I disagree. I really don't. I just think that he's already accomplished so much in the college level, and he's yet to achieve.
Jets?
I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Jets, but there might be. Here, to throw a little. What if the Giants tell Tom Coughlin at the end of the season, thanks, have a good one?
That's a great point, Foz. Dugan, would you be okay
The
with
Giants will never say have a good one to Tom Coughlin.
No, but he will say have a good one to them.
Yeah.
You
He
you
won't
never
leave.
know.
I can't see him leaving, honestly. I really can't. I think he's here for at least another year.
Tom?
Tom Coughlin.
He's
yes.
earned another year?
Absolutely. He has
two
me
Super Bowl rings?
rings.
Yeah.
He has me 2 rings.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
He deserves to be in New York for as long as he wants to be in New York, honestly.
he does. I think he does have that right. I think a few people do. But I think Foz is on something as well with the Harbaugh going to Giants or someone. I think if I was a team that was firing a coach, Mark, would you want Harbaugh as the number one choice? As to be the coach? Say pick a team.
It's a pretty tantalizing figure to be next head coach. Listen, he got his team to the Super Bowl. Like you said, he was very accomplished at Stanford. I think Michigan's still a good job. I really do.
Huh?
I think Michigan's still a good job.
Yeah.
I still think it's a good job.
I think that whole program is going. I mean, not only did that.
He could get that program
Listen,
back, though.
that basketball team is bad too. They just lost to a team that lost 56 straight games.
I understand.
That's crazy.
You know what? More the reason for him to go than around.
See, Monk,
Come on.
And
That
I
should
can
not
understand
happen.
your point because now he's going to have space. He's going to have time to say, I'm rebuilding your program.
It's got a
Okay, I could buy into this.
I could see him rebuilding the football program.
Me too.
in
I could
Michigan.
buy
For
into
like an
this.
ego thing, like
He can.
You think it's like an
Yeah.
ego thing? It's
John.
He's a good
Jim
coach.
Harbaugh-
I can't believe the
Jim
Niners want to get rid of
Jim
him.
Harbaugh have
Here's-
an ego.
here's my thing though,
Foz, go ahead.
and this is coming from whoever has brothers. Are you gonna go from coaching on the same level as your brother to losing to your brother in the Super Bowl, and then leaving? Imagine dinner over
Yeah,
Christmas.
that would bother
Christmas
me. I'm a
dinner,
twin.
and he's looking at you like,
That would bother me.
You couldn't handle it. I'm still in the NFL. Enjoy college.
And it's funny that it came down to a flare pass in the end zone that could have been called pass interference.
It should have been called pass
That's the
interference.
dinner talk between the Harbaugh brothers,
Right.
if it was a flag or not. But if you can't rebuild a program in Michigan, what did Nick Saban do in Alabama? Urban Meyer in Ohio State. It could be done. Al Golden's a horrible coach, but he's a good recruiter. He's trying to rebuild us. And then once we get there, as a Miami fan, I'm sorry I bring this up, we'll go get another coach then. Rebuilding programs, it takes certain talent as coaches. You feel the same way, dudes? You think you
Absolutely.
can do it?
Coaches, hands down, get the talent at their schools. You can look at it. Alabama,
He will draw.
number one of the top recruiting classes every year because of Nick Saban. Ohio State gets their recruits every year. They were a good school. They weren't the top, but Urban Meyer got so many more potential recruits to come just because of the name.
You know what? He would do well in Michigan now that I think about it, because people are going to say, "Oh, I'll play for Jim Harbaugh. He coached in the NFL." Like,
Would you, for instance, say, all right, Alabama's recruiting me, but you know what? I'm not going to be a starter. I'll be, the second string, or I can go play for Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, and I'll be a starter there. Where are you going to go?
you go to Michigan.
You're going to go to Michigan.
Name
Especially if you get Michigan back on winning ways as a player too.
Yeah.
You just bumped yourself up in that NFL
He's
draft.
enticed by the job. That's all. I'm not saying he's going
It was a prestigious team.
It's like the
point.
only college, a school that top-notch hockey, top-notch basketball, Fab Five, top-notch football. All three across the board. I don't know any other school that's top-notch in those three specifically. Football,
Notre Dame
basketball,
was
hockey.
a little bit.
Boston College pretty good
Yeah,
NC.
Tony is
Notre
there.
Dame
Yeah,
wasn't
Tony
bad.
is there.
We had Tony in on.
That's good hockey.
Yes, Tony is doing good over there. Doing very good. We'll get in touch with her.
I now now we're on the football subject, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm wearing a Raider shirt. And I know we lost to the Seahawks. I just got to bring up the Eagles.
Yes.
We
What
lost.
did I tell you?
They're not. better than
Everyone
us
told you
at
that.
all
Fran, what did I tell you?
that we were going to lose to the Seahawks.
What did we all? I jumped off the Philly wagon.
I told you the Seahawks were back, though.
They got
But
that
they're not
swag.
better than us.
Listen, Fran, I got news for you. They have a player on their team.
Russell
that
Wilson?
You have not even close to the caliber of player of this guy.
Are you trying to tell me Nick Foles is not close to Russell Wilson?
No way.
No.
He's really not.
No shot.
We got to go.
No.
We got to go to a
There's a lot of us in this room that wish we had Russell Wilson at quarterback.
Fred, I will tell you this though. Keep going, Monk. Keep going.
He doesn't let a play die.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
He
let
really
a play
didn't.
Die. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this one. This is gonna.
Monk, if you say what I want to say, I'm gonna go nuts. Keep going.
No, probably not. I was gonna say I was watching Andrew Luck earlier. I was watching him go down the field on the Browns. I was watching him orchestrate a comeback. I said, "Wow, this guy's great. He's athletic. He's this. He's that." And I gotta be honest with you. I watched Russell Wilson later on that day, and I said to myself,
Don't say
"You
it.
know what?
Don't say it.
I'd rather have Russell Wilson at QB than
What
Andrew
is?
Luck."
Can we have what he's on?
Foz!
Have what he's on.
Foz is a Colt fan. Foz!
What the hell
Foz.
is wrong
This
with
is
you?
coming from-
Are you
Hearing people
out
on
of
ESPN,
your
I think Andrew
mind?
Luck's going to be the greatest quarterback ever.
He is.
I'm telling you right now, Russell Wilson has no tools over there, and he makes it
He
happen.
doesn't have anybody.
You're right, Monk.
He makes
He
it
doesn't. But Andrew Luck's a specimen. Hey, go ahead, Foz.
and
Colt
Russell
fan.
Wilson's not a specimen, and it just gives me more reason for people
was that
to
serious?
overlook him.
He's
Was
serious.
it-
Completely serious.
Okay.
Serious.
Serious.
Mark
We need,
loves
can we get a
Russell.
doctor in here? He needs his temperature checked because he is out of his
He brings
damn
up
mind.
points,
He's
though.
out of his
Foz.
mind.
I gotta get my temperature
He brings
checked.
up
He
points.
has a Super Bowl, and Andrew Luck doesn't.
But here's the thing: it's Wilson had
Put a ring on his head.
probably
He had the defense.
one of the greatest defenses.
Yes.
You had the
Yeah.
Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
You had a defense with a nickname. When you get a defense that has a
I
nickname,
agree. Steal-
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. You could roll the ball to the receivers. It makes no difference.
That's
Yeah.
right. I tried once.
I'm gonna let me tell you right now. When at the end of their careers, it's not even going. He will not
All right.
even be the corn between his toes.
All right, let's.
It's
so
not
I'll
even
put it
gonna-
to you this way. Let's
I
say-
think it's
let's
going to be
say-
closer than you think. I think it'll be
think
the
so,
top
too.
two.
I don't think so.
I
What
think
if-
they're
no.
1 and 2.
What if Andrew Luck has better numbers and Russell Wilson has
Rings.
4 Super Bowls?
Well,
and
now,
Andrew Luck
hold
But
on.
that's like doing
hold on,
Rivers
now-
and Eli.
Right.
but
It's like
this
saying
is-
Manning better than Dan
is it-
Marino? No.
Exactly.
No,
No, he's
exactly.
not.
Exactly. You just
Wait,
you
no,
just
it's
answered
not.
our own
But is
question.
Brady better than Dan Marino? Yes.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
he's got more rings.
Yes.
No.
It's that simple.
It's
Yes.
not
Yes.
always about the ring.
Yes.
Yes,
No.
it's always
No.
about
It is
the
about the
rings.
ring.
No,
I
no, no,
spent my
sorry.
entire
No,
life
Boz,
listening
it
to them make
is
fun of
always
these. It's
about
about
the
the
rings.
rings.
What?
That's
Who's your
all it's
quarterback?
about.
Who's your quarterback?
Back 5.
Thank you. When I'm going watching Russell Wilson and you look at these
Same
Cam
guy.
Newton quarterbacks, it's the same guy in his prime. It's the same guy in his prime.
It's
In
not
his
even-
prime.
it's
You
not
guys
even
are talking
close.
about how he extends the play. Mac 5 didn't extend the play. That's where my question. I go, Fran, when you watch Russell Wilson, do you remember a little Mac 5? That's who it reminds me of. But
I love
Russell
that man.
Wilson's
Better.
smart, but better as of right now.
I
He's
love
better.
Mac 5
Dude,
doesn't have any
Listen,
rings.
But we're looking at Cam Newton,
Time
Kaepernick,
out. Can I call
And-
red flag? Donovan
RG3.
McNabb doesn't
They
have a
can't
ring.
make it.
Donovan McNabb doesn't have a ring because Coach Belichick was filming my sidelines.
Oh, he-
Give me this.
Stop.
Neither
Stop.
here nor there.
Hey, that's my line. Stop.
It is. Stealing lines out here. There's plagiarism. I'm spoiled.
The fact is that Russell Wilson is the best.
So you're telling me you don't think in a rematch that the
I think
Eagles?
they're going to win the Super Bowl because
I will say this. I will say this. They are the
Right.
scariest team right now in the NFC.
No.
I don't care how well the Packers are
Yes.
playing.
Yes.
They're playing. Listen to me. Hold on.
Okay.
You got a team that is playing well on both sides of the ball right now. The Atlanta Falcons put up 37 points. on the
Julio
Green Bay
Jones.
Packers.
Okay.
Julio Jones right now.
37, but you don't think Green Bay pulled off the trigger a little bit, going
know
up so
what?
many points?
A
Yeah.
good, but here's the thing: when the playoffs come, it's nose to the wall.
It
Like,
is
yeah.
also-
I'm
So
telling,
Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the field
Dugan,
going
but
ball,
Dugan.
all the way to the
compare
wall for the
both sides.
full 60
I'm
minutes.
listen to me. I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you
listen
right
to
now.
us.
I like the Seahawks better because of that defense.
Yeah.
That defense has already beaten Green Bay once. Don't forget, they have that in their pocket already. If they win out, Green Bay needs to lose just once.
Exactly.
Seattle is now the #1 seed, and the road to the Super Bowl goes through Seattle.
It's
It
a
does.
very
I-
interesting.
I
weeks coming
actually
up.
looked at
15,
it.
16, 17.
I wanted to see who I thought was going to get home field advantage, and Green Bay's not losing a game
Ever.
in the last 3 games.
Not
Hey.
Lambeau.
They never beat the Bucks
But
They're
that's,
not.
in Tampa. I'm just
When
saying.
it
Is the
comes
game
to
in Tampa?
defense-
Seattle's back.
We're 2-0 against
I
them.
agree
I'm
with
just telling
you.
you. No.
Defense, I don't think a team.
Aaron has never won in Raymond James Stadium. I'm just telling you right now for week 16.
and if it's the last week of the season,
Bucks,
and if it's the last week
The
of the
Bucks have
season,
been
who's to
dead
say that
since
they
before
don't
the
they
season
don't
started.
bench them?
Dugan say they could lose. I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers never beat us. Sorry.
I don't see them losing.
That's
I'm
a
Not
stat.
losing
sorry.
to the Bucks.
So now
You know,
we're
listen,
about-
I don't see them
hold
I
on,
saw
hold
it
on.
so too, and they knocked me out of
We've
suicide.
said so many
Me
things
and
on this
Dugan
show.
that
Well, they're never. Last
Every
week,
year, no.
last week our
The
streak
Bucks.
continued. We all picked the Kansas City Chiefs. Arizona wins. So let's just not.
All right, if Green Bay.
Let's see what happens.
I'll-
You know,
I'll come in
if-
next.
if we can't say it's never gonna happen.
Green Bay loses, I'll come in next.
I just
I think due to ratings, we can't do
All
that.
right, I'm coming in Boston. All right, if Green Bay loses, you heard it.
Wearing a cheese on your head.
All right.
Yeah, you
Just
gotta get a
the
cheese head.
Wait.
And
If
cheese
Green Bay
bomb.
loses one game,
and Seattle wins
this
out.
game against Tampa.
okay.
Or
No,
they
it's
play
2 weeks from now.
All
They
right.
play Buffalo and Buffalo
All right,
this
so
week.
we'll entertain that in 2 weeks. You
Okay.
got me here.
Nice.
On the show.
The naked man.
Oh
Never
man,
lose
I will
again.
never root for Tampa Bay.
I'll tell
more
you
than
this
I will
though,
that day.
and because I don't want to say that I don't. I'm not discrediting Seattle because they are very good.
They're good. They're back.
They were the best team I've seen my Eagles, and we lost in Lambeau, but there was a difference between losing to the Packers with Mark Sanchez compared to the way we lost to Seattle with Mark Sanchez. He was having a hard time finding anybody, and when he did have an open player, he was pressured so bad that he was overthrowing
It's
his
Deshaun
open players.
Jackson.
Every drive from
You
here,
missed Deshaun Jackson.
every drive from
what it
here
is.
until the end of the year, the Seahawks' tenacity on defense is going to be the same level all the way through. the Super
But they're back,
When
the
they win.
defense.
Oh,
when they win
absolutely.
it.
Their defense is back.
Who is,
I wanted to say about Green Bay, you can't turn your in football. I think you could turn your offense on and off.
Yes.
Okay, completely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Your defense, when it comes to defense, I don't think there's turning an
Well, you
on
know.
and off switch. I think that you're either just
You're right.
tenacious enough, or you have a good enough defense to win, or you don't. I don't think Green
Agree.
Bay's defense
Ravens.
is strong enough. I think the Seahawks go in there, they can contain them, and I'm telling you, I'm very high on Russell Wilson.
You make
Very.
if it's Green Bay versus Seattle in the playoffs, Green Bay is one-dimensional. They're gonna throw the ball. It's simple as that. And what happens in Lambeau and Seattle? It snows around playoff time. So what are you gonna do? Give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Clay Matthews is playing a position he doesn't play. He's inside linebacker now. Dukes, I mean, you
But
think
go-
Seattle?
go- I like Seattle. I think they are back. I think they're going to win out just like the Packers. They're
Home
gonna fin-
field?
No, they're going to be 12-5, and the Packers are going to be 13-3 to end the year. So Packers will have home field
If
advantage.
Seattle's winning out, I hope you know Seattle's going to get the home field.
Seattle,
guarantee
yeah,
it.
Seattle wins out. They get home
They
field.
get home field.
Okay,
They own all tiebreakers.
good.
If Seattle gets home field, yes, you
They
punch
own a
them right in.
tiebreaker against Dallas.
Remaining schedule.
We're going to need to
Gosh.
pull that up. I'm so interested. I really think if Seattle
Dallas
goes,
beat them.
Dallas
I
did
think
beat
Dallas
them.
would have the
If
over
we
them.
beat Dallas Sunday, Seattle wins out. Seattle's the front runner for home field.
There you go.
Seattle.
Yeah, but if Green Bay
remaining
wins
of the
out, they are
season.
13-3, and if Seattle wins out,
12-4.
they're 12-5.
Seattle gets San
They're
Francisco
12-4.
San Francisco.
at Arizona,
Win.
home against San Fran, at Arizona,
Tough.
home against St. Louis.
Win.
Those are
Thanks
all
for-
tough games.
Thanks for the.
Those are-
It's 3 division games. Everyone
Those are
ends
all-
against their
exactly.
division.
Thank you.
tough.
Those are all tough games.
I don't want to play St. Louis week 17.
No,
That's a
either do
good
I.
defense.
I'm with you, Nelly. I'm with you. And
First-
honestly, that's
They're
a
not
tough-
getting home field.
You know what? This game could be a
Same, Monk.
letdown game this week against San Fran. San Fran coming off that bad loss.
I can't.
They're
No
done,
way.
right?
I
Colin Kaepernick is
love
junk.
Colin Kaepernick
the
is bad.
Niners this week.
Do?
Frank Gore is terrible.
Hey,
I, Harv, you know he's bad.
He's real bad.
I'm sorry. I can't.
He's really,
Seattle's
he's
defense
beat
just.
up. He's beat up.
He's beat up. He's old, man.
Beat up.
can't.
Kaepernick's not the answer.
No, I heard they're thinking about. I heard that the Niners are considering ideas of already going to a quarterback in the draft.
After he gets killed this week at Seattle,
You understand?
They might have
You
no
understand?
choice.
For college,
Send the chancellor.
college football fans like me and Dugan, Kaepernick did not throw the ball in college.
Not a
He threw the
quarterback.
ball
I
4
don't-
completions a game.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was last week, 2 weeks ago. I said I don't know how Colin Kaepernick
ran,
got
right?
drafted.
What did he play,
I really don't know how he got
He
drafted.
played the option in
played,
Nevada.
he threw the ball 9 times
that-
a game.
I
That
watched
was-
the game in the YC with Dugan. The
Hawaii
prop
State.
was over 11 and a half completions.
Can I ask you a
He
question?
completed 4.
No, he's
He
really bad.
completed 4.
He's really
Come
bad.
How
on.
long have I said Kaepernick sucks?
It's college football.
But it's just like any other sport. He came in last year, okay, or 2 years ago, whatever it was. Started running the option. You know what I'm saying? Caught everyone off guard. Everyone's onto him. He's a one-trick pony.
One trick.
He's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, but
Stop the option. He's done.
See, now here's my
but
thing.
Vic did it for
Weapons,
years.
Here's my
Mom.
thing.
Crab
Here's
and
my
Rolls
question.
and
Here's my
Vernon.
question. All right,
Frank
You-
is still good.
you drafted Colin Kaepernick. You're paying him this X amount of money. Why would you not let him do what he does best? Got you to a Super Bowl. Why are you trying to change who he is, just because you're paying him this amount of money and you don't want him to get hurt?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather pay him the money and let him keep running his
Yeah,
option
and ride him out.
and
Go
score
Yeah,
and get to
absolutely.
the championship?
But it's
and
not working anymore.
They're
already
not
made his
running it.
guarantee
They're not
money.
running it that much.
Oh, here's
But
my
because it stopped working because every defense going in is waiting for the
I don't
option.
think, I'm with Dugan. I don't think they're running
They're
it.
not running
I don't
it.
think
They're
running
making him sit back in the pocket and throw the ball. And
What-
his first instinct, honestly, going back to Nevada, it's run. It's not throw. He doesn't read the right reads. He's not a good pocket passer.
Let me tell you the difference
Tell
between
us.
Russell Wilson and Colin Kaepernick. This week, the Eagles were big on emphasizing their game plan of not really breaking through the pocket and coming around.
Contain.
They wanted to contain
Yeah,
Russell
we said we
Wilson.
were containing.
They wanted to keep him there.
Can't do
and
it.
he still ran around and still made plays.
He's sick.
With his arm. With his arm.
He did.
Kaepernick, I don't
Doesn't have his arm.
he's not able to
Which-
make those plays.
No, you've been trying to get a
Just
point
make a
across. I
smart
feel like it's
throws.
there.
Yeah. When you watch Kaepernick against Green Bay in that playoff game, he jumped off the television how he ran. He
Yeah.
was running like Michael Vick.
Right.
He doesn't have that speed like he does
No,
if
he
I
doesn't.
watch him. He was going nuts.
I think it's because he went on
And
the
you
cover
don't
of
see that
GQ.
speed
That's him.
anymore. And that's what I was trying to get before with Mac 5. When I watch Russell Wilson, it's Mac 5 because Kaepernick, RG3, and Cam Newton, they're built just like Mac 5 was. And this might be a good thing for Mac 5, maybe to go to the Hall of Fame one day.
He's
With
going.
These guys now, I'm just saying.
Nelly, just
If there's
for-
any excuse.
That's a good question.
Nah, it's Donovan McNabb show.
Real quick, I just got breaking news to my phone.
Yeah.
But Gary Anderson has just left Wisconsin to become the coach at Oregon State.
Who?
The head coach of Wisconsin, Gary Anderson.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, good move.
Breaking news.
Good move.
For the Beavers?
Good move.
Yes.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Go build a dam.
Melvin Gordon leaves, you leave. You know?
Melvin Gordon's out.
Melvin Gordon leaves, you leave. Stabby goodbye.
Please.
Dude, Stabby goodbye.
Everyone give us Stabby
Quarterback
goodbye.
Stabby, Wisconsin.
Wilson
Stabby
went
goodbye.
to where do you go? Nebraska or Wisconsin?
Who?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson
Both.
went to NC State,
NC State.
and then he transferred to Wisconsin,
Yeah.
He was on
and he had a one-loss Wisconsin year. 1 year Wisconsin, 1 year. But all right, Monk, I want to hit you, Monk and Dugan actually, since and no, everyone get on this.
If it has to do with the Eagles, I don't think.
No, Johnny Manziel, is it the right move to do?
about
To
time.
start him now.
Yeah.
Great debate.
Dugan, let's go around. Dugan or not?
I
This is easy, right,
I have
Dugan?
to start him. Right now, you think he's your future quarterback. Brian Harder's not a starter. He's been playing terrible. Just to go back to the numbers, 29 drives, 1 touchdown. When your defense has more touchdowns than you need to
That's a good point.
take aside. You need to step
True story.
aside. You need to
That's
get
a
maybe
real
a
good
spark
point.
in the offense.
You know,
And Johnny Manziel can move with his feet. He can throw the ball. I like the move. I do.
you know, Nelly, I'm really sorry to have to do this.
What happened?
This week, Andrew Luck, did you see how many mistakes he made?
He made
Tons.
more than I've ever seen him play.
Who makes
Make.
more mistakes, Russell Wilson or Andrew Luck?
On a weekly
Monk, are you a
basis?
Seahawk fan?
No,
I think he's a
I'm
Clyde-
Russell Wilson fan.
Okay.
On a weekly basis?
Yes.
Russell Wilson will make more mistakes than Andrew Luck.
I haven't seen this guy Russell Wilson make a mistake.
Make one
in 2
mistake
years.
all year.
Russell Wilson.
Not
He's a
one.
stud.
You're going to
Really
force
is.
me to pull up his numbers now, right?
Russell, he has
Yep.
5
Oh,
picks.
no, he's got less throwing yards.
no, no.
Less-
No.
Russell Wilson, I believe, has 5 picks on him.
Less
Guys!
less completions, but he'll have
Both do it.
Keep your composure.
Dumb and dumb.
wins.
No Quincy's.
He'll have a better.
Gypsy, you know where I was going with that.
quarter.
At least you were on my page.
Here's my thing.
The important things.
The important thing is that the Eagles have to win Sunday.
No, it's not. Back to the Browns.
Listen,
Johnny Manziel
to go back to Nelly's question,
Please.
I think that Manziel's the right choice, but a lot of people they're really bashing Hoyer. He's not playing really bad. Like last game, Josh Gordon really lost the game for them. Honestly,
He was high.
It wasn't.
Dropped a few balls,
It
yeah.
wasn't Hoyer.
Out of shape.
But you got him. I think you make the move. I think it's the right move.
Well, the reason I was doing that
Okay.
is because I wanted to say that even with Andrew Luck's mistakes, I'm done with that. The Andrew Luck bash.
Okay, thanks.
I knew that Brian Hoyer. I was telling Nelly. I knew that Brian Hoyer was going to get the ball back and give the ball back. I knew every time. I said the Colts will win this game because they're going to keep getting the ball back.
Yeah.
Brian Hoyer is terrible. He looked great. It was all facade.
It was a
okay?
facade.
You know when you're in the desert.
Mirage.
And there's a mirage, okay?
The Oasis.
We have snow in New York right now. Tell us.
The wells run dry. Man,
Jasmine
the
of Disney is
organization
not
hates
there.
him. The city of Cleveland hates him. Everybody that's famous seems to love him. Start the guy. Maybe he'll bring some Hollywood to Cleveland. Maybe he'll win.
Foz, before you answer, I also want to know, what do you see Manziel doing this week at home against the Bengals? Like, what do we expect in his first start?
I'll be honest with you.
I think they win.
I do think they win, but don't be surprised if they don't run a Kaepernick type
Yup.
offense.
And it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Type offense. Because let me tell you,
Work.
the people who are voting the most for Johnny Manziel to start this week are the Cleveland Brown running backs. Because that will open up. But getting
gonna
back
work.
to that, do you think it's coincidence? Hoyer has been great for the most part all season.
Until they-
Is it coincidence?
until they challenged him
games
once.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Until Josh Gordon showed up.
No.
Yeah?
No.
You're right.
Hold on.
You're right.
Look
Are you
at
trying to
these
say that
numbers.
Johnny Football and Josh Gordon party together?
No. I'm trying to say that
You might.
He might.
without their number one per se receiver or their number one receiver, Hoyer didn't have tunnel vision. And I have a funny feeling now, having Josh Gordon, he's looking for number one. He's doing what they're comparing. They're saying Mariota's doing. If they were showing how he focuses solely on the number one, and then once it gets past number one, it's happy feet or the
His
ball
reads,
gets.
yeah, his reads,
He's not
he doesn't
reading.
read.
They're cutting down his reads by having Josh Gordon back.
That's what makes.
I can see that.
That's what
You know what I'm
makes.
saying? Is it coincidence? You said what? The last 29 drives?
Last
That's
29
two
drives.
Games. Josh Gordon's been back 2 games.
2 catches, 15 yards against Indy, Josh Gordon.
That's
That's
what
really big.
makes a
And
Brian-
Vontae Davis didn't even play. Who's quarterback for the Colts? Besides Foz.
Ellie,
I was out there. You didn't see me? I made a couple outstanding
No, but you're a
tackles.
Colts fan, Foz, so I can't ask you.
Going through
For-
your reads, that's what makes a Brian Hoyer a Brian Hoyer. That's what makes a Brady a Brady. He
Yeah.
goes through his reads quicker than the
Yes.
average quarterback.
Fran, Manziel point, and lead us our Eagles.
Well, I think Manziel, I think you have to put him in at this point. This is the direction your franchise is going. You didn't go and make a trade to get this guy in the draft for no reason. You're still in playoff contention where if this guy rides you into the playoffs, it's the kind of momentum that a team can maybe sneak a first-round win in, get to the second round. And obviously, they're losing in the second round, but, I think you got to do the move. I don't think you have a choice. You have LeBron there. You have Johnny. You can make Cleveland a sports town
That
again.
division is wide open.
The Indians aren't even that bad. They're really not.
I'm with the move. You gave Hoyer his shot,
Yep.
and you know what? That pick in the red zone was like time for Manziel.
Well, when they questioned Hoyer
Still,
before.
the team still has a winning record.
Right. And when they questioned Hoyer the first point in the season, the first time they questioned him, that's when you lost Hoyer. Think about the game since then.
Right.
His head got
His head's
messed
all
with.
messed
He's
up.
like,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah,
He was on a tightrope from that moment.
If you watch his interviews, he just beats himself
Beats
up.
himself up. This is my team. It's not your
He's
team,
got
buddy. It
no
never
confidence.
was.
You don't want to see a quarterback with that kind of composure. And
No,
But
you
I mean,
don't.
no,
Doesn't
no.
have what composure?
That Thursday night
Kaepernick
win.
too with his interviews.
Oh,
Bad.
he's done.
He's a bum.
Yeah.
That Thursday night win they had over Cincinnati a few weeks back, when they were interviewing him at the end, and Deion Sanders is praising him, everyone's praising him. He had that gusto. It didn't look at that point that he had any doubt in his mind because they were winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, maybe it's just
No, it's gotta get to
coincidence.
you all the talk.
It's
though.
yeah.
gotta get
Eventually, you got this guy
gotta
who's
get to you.
always he's essentially the starting quarterback, but he's in the shadow of his backup.
And not only that is Manziel's the sexy pick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's He's
The
the
fan
jersey.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the jersey
Absolutely.
seller. He's
Guys,
the one.
You gotta see what it is.
We got to talk about this at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is the game of the week. It's
Yeah.
the only game anybody should even be
That's
watching.
all we should go to.
It's Eagles Dallas
Way to pull it
in
back,
Philly.
You know,
I,
it's funny because you said we need to get the Eagles, and then I was thinking at the same time, so you know what? Not for nothing. Why aren't we talking about that?
Because you were talking.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
You're
why.
right. That,
Because that's why.
is-
But
this
I
is
say,
game.
Fran, we let the Eagle fan go last.
I can't-
I'll go first.
It's the line.
Fran, -3.5 Eagles at home after a tough Seattle game. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be with you here.
Oh.
I'm with the Cowboys. I believe in Tony Romo in December. There's something wrong. This is their year. This is their season. I think you're 1 year away. You're one draft away, and it's not going to be now. I'm with Dallas.
Get
I'm
the
sorry.
shirt off, man.
I'm with Dallas. Foz?
Thank you, Gypsy. I hear it in
Dallas.
the distance.
Dallas.
I'm with Dallas.
I'm with Dallas.
I just think that last game in Dallas was a little bit of an aberration.
Has anybody cried on air yet?
because
Because I'm real
because
close.
of, like we had discussed, the back-to-back games.
Short
you know,
rest.
Philly with short rest. Not they now have
Thank you, Daniel.
they've actually had a longer rest than Philly, considering that they played on Thursday. The game is when
Sunday night.
Sunday
Sunday
night.
night, 8:30.
So they'll have 10 days of rest. You know what I'm saying? I like Dallas.
Dallas?
That running game.
Close
is back.
game or a blowout?
No, it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 27-21, 27-24, somewhere in that
I got
range.
27-20 Dallas.
Yeah.
Monk, and then we'll go Dugan then Fran.
Fran, this is a bad spot. This is a must.
We're having a funeral for
This
you
is
right
a
now.
must.
I'm wearing black.
Must win for Dallas.
You're wearing Raiders jersey.
They're gonna come out firing. I think. I really do. That's just a bad spot for your team. I like Dallas to win the game. Get the 3.5.
Me too.
They win this game.
Me too.
Dugan.
I think Dallas is gonna win.
No, Dugan,
By 7.
because I'm going to tell you right now what he's going to do.
I am.
No.
Right now what he's going to do.
I am. That's what I'm waiting for.
I know what he's going to do.
I know our stat. I know it.
No.
That when everyone
It's getting
goes
broken
one
this
team,
week. It's getting
Oh,
broken.
I'm sorry.
No.
but you guys couldn't say it better. Dallas has the better rest.
Yes, they do.
They're gonna come out. Listen, no, if you could be happy over there, that's
Oh, I'm
fine. Because coming
ecstatic.
Sunday night, you're not gonna be happy. 'cause
We're 14-0 when we do
Gypsy,
this.
can we get a we them boys playing in the
Yeah.
background for us?
Dallas Cowboys
Are you kidding
are
me?
going to win this game.
What do you mean? I'm riding this.
31-24, I think.
Dukes, who's the
Dallas.
difference maker in the game?
DeMarco Murray is
Yep.
going to go
I
wild.
think it's well
Well, in
said.
that case,
They're gonna
I'll
win.
take it.
I know he is. Damn it, I don't want that. I'm versing DeMarco.
Fran and Dugan are in the semifinals in fantasy. Winner goes to the championship. Dude. That's
Yeah,
it.
you look.
On a
we-
side note,
forgot about
I
personal
don't even
level.
want to. I don't even want
And
to.
I'm waiting on the other side.
I
I
That was
forgot
on the
about
other
that.
side.
I got
don't
a
even
tough
wanna-
matchup.
The matchups between me and Dugan in playoff history are not human. The things that happened to me against this kid are not human.
You know what, you're lucky? Andre Johnson's not going to be starting for me this week.
Oh, that is destiny.
Yeah.
We them boys playing
He's
the
the nerve
background.
killer.
I'm sorry, Fran. We
But
did this.
honestly, the Cowboys in this
no.
game, I like Tony Romo. I think he's going to play well. And I don't like Sanchez. I really don't.
You liked him 2 weeks ago.
I did, but it was
It was a Thanksgiving admiration.
It's not, yeah.
You
This
know
is
what?
different.
I'm gonna break the streak. We're winning this game 24-10. Come into my house and think you're gonna upstage me? We're better than the Giants. We're better than the Cowboys. We're better than the Redskins. We have not lost a game to a team in our division this season.
That's exactly why.
Nelly over there. Look at him. He's torn.
Nelly.
Dude, no.
Nelly wants to go.
Dude, no.
Man, but he knows they're gonna lose this week.
Look at him. He's got to hold his head so he don't do it.
Just do it with me now.
I can't.
Just do it.
Can't.
Damn it. Okay.
It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be
Listen.
my feelings. If I
No,
did
I'm
it.
gonna give you guys a real reason. I do think. I feel better now. Okay. So here's my thing. Honestly, we're going to play these guys. They're coming. I know they want more rest. They're going to come out there. But if you check the weather forecast, it's a little bit cloudy with a chance of a blizzard. So,
That's conducive to
That's
a run
better
game.
to the run game.
and who do we have?
Yeah.
Not
Who
DeMarco
has a
Murray.
better
You don't have the best running back in the
the best
league.
offensive line in football.
Guys,
It's 1 and 2.
DeMarco Murray and LaShawn McCoy are the exact same human being.
He's coming on as of late.
Hold on.
Not here saying DeMarco Murray's
Let
better
me-
than McCoy. McCoy.
No.
Thank you.
I won't hear it out of my mouth.
Thank you.
I won't say McCoy's better than him, though.
And you know who else we have? Darren Sproles on the
let me-
special teams. That's where you win in the blizzard.
Hold on, let me tell you why no. Because Murray is an up and down runner, north-south. You guys are east-west.
Lateral, I know.
Okay? So
Yeah.
now in the snow,
Sweet.
east-west doesn't work too well because you start sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
The guy going north-south is always going to be favored
Right.
in a snow
That's
matchup.
why Polk
Which
was
QB
always
is
good
going
in
to
the
have a better
snow.
game?
Good Polk.
Is it snowing and is it the month of December? I'll say Mark Sanchez.
Exactly.
Fran,
And that's where
They
you're
won
wrong.
last week. They won last week.
Fran, on the
That's
per-
the point where you're wrong.
He didn't
Everything
play in
else
the
you're
cold.
right about, Fran. If you took Russell Wilson and threw him on the Eagles last week, you guys win the game.
You do know
Your
Nick Foles is
quarterback
potentially
play is not
back,
good.
Your
right? You guys do
defense
know
has to
that
show
fact.
up, Fran.
Quarterback plays not.
You guys
Their
do
defense
realize
is not bad.
our defense is very aggressive. Our
They gotta play
D-line
like
is
they
the
did
best in the
last week.
NFL, period. We get to the quarterback.
I don't
Don't
know
bring
about
up Seattle. We
Detroit.
get to them. I still like us more. You hear me out.
No way.
You're
Here we are.
speaking with your heart, not your head.
I don't have a head.
No way.
Listen, when you talk about sports, I don't think with my head. Listen, and that's what makes me an avid sports fan because I don't think with my head. So here's my pick. Realistically, I think it's going to be 27-17. I do think Philly wins at home. I think Dallas misses the playoffs with an 11-win season.
Wow. Nuts.
Because that's pathetic that that's possible because of that awful division called the NFC South. They should be all banned from professional sports. All of them. All 4 teams. Get them out of my league. Because of them, my team or the Cowboys are going to miss the playoffs.
You want to know what's sad is someone from that division is going to get a home game. That's what's even worse.
If I miss the
Oh,
playoffs
yeah.
and the Falcons are playing at
commercials.
home
And
game,
when the Saints
You're going to have to go to a
are
7-9 Saints team.
An owner of one of those
Superdome.
teams is going to get banked for a
Bang!
whole playoff game.
with 7 wins.
Okay?
Oh my
All right,
God.
We'll see. We'll see Sunday.
No.
Tomorrow night.
You know what's even shocking? That's a huge game between Cowboys Eagles, and Mark Sanchez is the quarterback in this game. I still can't get over
I
it.
said he's.
You
I
know
still
that,
can't get over it.
guys. I try to tell you.
Sanchez Romo.
There's
Best
speculation.
game on TV this week. Sanchez Romo.
There's speculation that Nick Foles is starting Sunday.
No way.
I'm telling you
I
the
don't
truth.
think
There,
so.
he's been warming up and practicing.
There's no
Okay.
way. There's no way. You can't just yank him out of.
Oh,
nowhere.
you're yanking the guy.
Even you don't like Mark.
No, I don't
just
like
don't
Mark
like
Sanchez,
him.
but he's been doing okay. I can't hate him.
He hasn't been doing much worse than Nick Foles was.
We'll see
Nick
how he
Foles
covers.
makes big plays.
Guys,
Monk.
you know, I've had something heavy on my heart this weekend. It's been bothering me. It was the Kansas City Chiefs.
They're the worst.
There was a call in that game that
Oh, the fumble?
what fumble?
Yeah. Keep going, Monk.
When Kelsey was brought down to the ground by a defender, rolled around 78 times, the ball came loose. Somehow they reviewed it and it was a fumble.
For anyone who's listening and watching, I suggest you YouTube this play because you're going to tell me sports isn't fixed, Monk. That question answered right there, and they went to the review. Because that was disgusting. I had no words or describe anyone that was watching the game. Listen, what just went on, but that's sports. I can't give you that
Driving
sports.
first down, 25 Arizona, and
Going in.
a fumble out of nowhere that wasn't a fumble. I mean, he was so down, Travis Kelsey.
Tomorrow's Arizona, Seattle. I mean St. Louis, right?
Tomorrow is
Yeah.
Arizona, and Arizona's a 10-win team with potential
Are there-
home field implications in the playoffs.
Are there reruns of the Victoria's Secret fashion show?
That was
That-
fantastic
you're right.
last night.
Because
Because that's what I will be
was my
watching if there
MVP.
are.
It was very good.
She was very good.
Um,
Very good.
I gotta say, in this game, I'm rooting for the Rams because I don't think Arizona was gonna win that game last week. I think they would have lost that game to the Chiefs.
They should have lost.
They
They should
shoulda
have lost, Monk, and that was an egregious call. And for guys like me, you, and Dugan and Foz, who would look at these lines and stuff, and like, what the hell was that? Dugan, what did you take from that fumble? I mean, the guy hit his shoulder, knee, rolled around, and then the ball came out.
Hard.
I don't know how they
It
call
does.
like.
It
how do
wasn't
you
even
rule?
close. It
Challenging.
wasn't.
I wasn't even sure what Bruce Arians was challenging.
I don't know. I can't give you a valid explanation of how that was a fumble.
This sport-
I really can't.
Can we just bring something up? Because I got to go over
You
this.
go
I
to
was
New England?
talking about it with a coworker, and he brought something up to me, and I thought it was
I'm just
interesting.
going to you with that.
Has this sport not gotten extremely soft?
Yeah.
To the point where they're doing so much just to make sure they could put fans in the seats smiling because they're seeing touchdowns after touchdowns after touchdowns. Whatever happened to the days where, oh, you're getting in trouble for throwing a ball over the middle like that, popped. You can't pop anybody anymore.
It's true.
No more Dawkinses. Who's the big
Speaking
defensive
of
hitter?
that, Narf, Did you watch the game on Sunday night?
The Patriots.
The Patriot game.
Browner.
That was the worst call I have
Worst.
That was
ever
as clean
seen
a hit as
in
I've
my
seen.
entire life.
That was the worst.
Just because the guy, legal hit, got laid out, they called the penalty.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like this anymore. That's not the sport that I fell in love with the Eagles defense as a kid.
I fell in love with the Bucks defense.
That's what I'm saying. And now, what am I have to get excited because we got to throw 50 balls a game? No. Play football.
It's only going to change if it happens at the Super Bowl. And someone loses the Super Bowl because of that. If someone's on a drive and someone throws a 4th down incompletion, and there was a soft hit that was close, soft hit, but it was high, people are going to go nuts. It should have happened when New Orleans played Minnesota and the game went to overtime and Drew Brees drew it into incompletion and Drew Brees got popped and they called it on Minnesota. It should have happened that year, and it's just getting soft. And the New England got a pick 6. It makes it a more interesting game. It was a great play. You don't see plays like that too often. And you got helmet to helmet when clearly it was the shoulder.
How many years
Go
is
to
this-
replay and go watch that.
I was just going to say,
go to replay.
on a play like that, why can't you review that? Like, you go to the booth and say, all right, that wasn't,
But you know what?
up.
With the call in the can, does it even matter if you go to the booth?
by the way-
Whatever they want to call, they're going to call.
I know this is random, but Russell
Right?
Wilson did
Right,
make a
dude?
mistake but got bailed out. Just throwing that out there. The Malcolm Jenkins where it should have been a pick 6.
That's right.
About Russell Wilson got bailed out on a really bad throw.
What was the call?
See what happens with pipe
It should have been a Malcolm Jenkins pick 6 the other way,
Or
but he
what did
dropped
they-
the ball.
Oh, he dropped it, yeah.
Because he was 10 minutes ahead of the play.
Just-
Yeah.
Real quick, I just completely random thought, but I was reading this today and I got you'll get a good laugh out of this.
I need a laugh.
CBS Sports posted an article today. Did an interview with the Geno Smith.
Oh, really? Let's do interviews.
It's already a
I'm
laugh.
just gonna say, hold on, wait
He's not
for
going to
it.
movies anymore.
And I quote,
Be a chef.
I've shown flashes of being a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. We'll end on that.
Geno Smith said that?
Geno Smith.
Okay.
What, in
so,
the 3 passes that he threw?
Yeah.
last week?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to take a commercial. Come outside.
You know what it was? His Pro Bowl,
Think
his
about
handoffs.
Yes,
he
his
was doing a good
handoff. Pro Bowl
handoff. He had the Pro Bowl
specialty.
handoff.
He knows how
the
to
Pro
go
Bowl
to the
handoff.
sidelines and throw the ball away instead of run up the middle and staying there an extra second. That's
The
all
best
I can say
part
about
was
Geno.
Rex Ryan commented. They asked him, "What do you think about it?" He goes, "Yeah," and then he doesn't.
You know,
I mean, it's
I went to the Jet game week 1, as I bring up on the show, and you should have known when they were inside the 10, their first play was to bring Michael Vick in on a sweep and give Michael Vick the ball to throw it into the end zone. So you had 2 months to work on your red zone formation, and that was your
So the
for-
Jets right now,
and that's
what
what you
pick in
came
the
up
draft?
with.
They are tied for the first pick in the
Yeah.
draft, which they're
No
going to
Jets
screw
talk,
up. They're
Fran.
going to screw up.
Stop.
You
Keep
shut the
going.
lines
Yeah.
up.
Go.
They're
I
going to
think the
screw.
Jets are going to get Mariota.
I hope they do.
I hope they don't.
I hope they do.
You know
well,
what?
You know
We're
what?
talking
They
Jets
deserve.
football. Cut the bro. We're done.
Yeah.
Gypsy, we're gonna go to commercial break and stop talking about the Jets.
We're going to put some
That's-
crabs in our Bucks ship.
When we
you
come
know,
back,
for
though, we got
Winston.
Anthony Pepe from the PBA. Looking forward to a nice
We'll put
little
some
interview.
crabs
Yes,
on the
definitely.
There he is.
There are men who live their lives brighter and darker than others. And through these experiences, they form bonds stronger and harder than the rest. Here we celebrate this common bond of uncommon men. One does not choose to come here. There are no interviews. A man's right to be here at this table must be earned before he's offered a seat at it. Today we welcome another man who has earned his seat at the table.
Monday's got you off the wagon? Well, worry no more, because it's now officially a part of the 3-day weekend. So get on board. Come party with the Standby Gypsy, Juju the Model, and Blue Rivera every Monday night for your entertainment week in review, off-the-wall interactive segments, live performances, in-depth interviews, and the latest in sports. The Hangover Takeover is live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on zenlive.tv. Catch the A&P Show every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on zenlive.tv.
They were once knighted by the creator of Ustream.tv.
3 nights of Ustream.
In being the 3 Knights of Ustream, their mission is to help turn up the volume on the last source of freedom of speech there is, the internet. So join the flagship show of the Zanalza Entertainment Network, Zanalza, New York, every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live from ZenLive.tv. They'll show you just how it's done in the World Wild West.
Independent music, alternative news, the underground and the underrated.
You're watching the Zanalza Entertainment Network on ZenLive.tv.
Thanks for tuning back into Pipe Bomb after the break. And, you know, it's Foz, give us a little background on Anthony.
Great bowler, I'll tell you that much.
You've seen him live, right?
Yes, seen him live. Probably one of the smoothest approaches I've ever seen. You don't even hear the ball hit the floor. It's crazy.
Come on.
Yeah, silky smooth. You know, if you do yourself a favor, you look him up on YouTube or watch him live Sunday on ESPN. He bowls in Queens. You know, it's just a pleasure watching him. You know, he's definitely one of those guys that you just watch, and the thing is like you look at him and he's only 26 years old, and just to be able to
younger than me.
You know,
and bowling's a sport you could go for.
Yeah,
Pete Weber.
Exactly. You got these Pete Weber, Norm Duke. You know, you got Walter Ray. You got
Walter
these guys
Ray.
that have been
What's the other guy?
bowling for years.
Walter Ray is who I was thinking of.
Yeah. Well, we got some video of him bowling right now.
Oh, nice.
Like, you know, like I said, it's just.
Oh, he's a lefty. He's a southpaw.
Lefty. Yeah, he's a southpaw.
He's a southpaw.
You know,
nice.
Down in Van Nest, we like to say that the lefties, you know, rule the house, but you know.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, when I bowl, it sounds like I'm dropping a cinder block on the field.
Let's
Well, you throw the ball in the ceiling.
I throw it right into the ceiling. Forget it. Different lanes, backwards, inside the kitchen. I come back with the Ilios pizza. I try it again.
Absolutely.
Ilios pizza.
So Fran, let's call him in. Let's get Anthony on the line.
Jibs, let's hit him up.
Let's get Anthony on the line.
You know what I'm thinking too? You know it's not right for kids. Like your first sport ever is soccer, but you know what? Your first sport might be bowling when you're
Yeah.
bowling. But should little kids be using bumpers?
We on?
Yes.
Anthony.
Hello?
This is Anthony? Anthony, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going
What's
on?
up, man?
Welcome
What's
to the
up,
show,
guys?
bud. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
It's not bad. Not bad. Hanging in there tonight, enjoying this snowstorm. How about you?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So, you know, we're looking at you. You know, we're excited to have you on, man. It's great to see you. You know,
Yeah, thank you.
you're doing well.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime. Anytime. Especially, you know, being a local guy doing so well for yourself. You know, it's pretty exciting for all of us, you know, to see people you know, from around us.
Thank you.
It's great.
Yes.
Now,
And I got a question for you. When did you start bowling? When did you start?
I started bowling when I was about 6 years old over at Merrick Lanes.
Okay.
It's now called Astoria Bowl, and it's literally right around the corner from my house. My mother took me there one day, and I fell in love ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. Right around your house, 6 years old? Wow.
I literally, before I started driving, I used to walk with my bowling equipment around the corner from my house.
and nowadays, a cop will
That's
take you
great.
down for a weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine. Foz.
Yeah. How can I help you? No. What's up, man? How's everything?
How's it going?
So, tell me.
Wait, is this Joe?
Yeah, this is Joe.
Okay, Joe.
What's going on? Yeah.
What's up, bud?
These guys got some great questions for you. I'm gonna ask you, you know, the deep down bowling questions. Favorite ball and why?
Favorite ball and why? Well, my favorite ball of all time is the Storm High Road. I've drilled about 30 of them since it's come out. It came out in, I think 6 years ago in November. And for that layout, that bowling ball for me, just, it works on anything.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter how I place the pin on that ball, and it just matches up really well for my ball roll.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel right now. I just finally drilled up a Storm, the Crux. That ball should be that ball should be
really, really
illegal. The way that ball hooks on pretty much anything. If you want a good laugh, they hook that ball on peanut butter and jelly. True story.
Come on.
You saw
I
that
swear
video,
to you,
huh?
there's a YouTube video. They hook the ball on peanut butter and jelly, and the ball still.
What
hits
kind
the
of peanut
pocket.
butter?
It wasn't chunky.
Oh,
It's
man.
it's a pretty entertaining video. For
Yes,
sure.
it definitely was.
Oh, I gotta see this.
All right, hey, Dugan here. I got a couple questions for you.
What's
First
up,
off, we know you said that you started at 6, but when did you realize that, you could actually compete with, PBA bowlers? When did you think that you had that caliber of talent in you?
Well, I mean, it took many years of training and seeing a lot of professional coaches and going to Kegel Training Center down in Florida. I mean, it took a lot of years for me to realize that, you know what, I really can't compete with these guys. It's just a matter of really believing it myself. I mean, I'm very, very insecure sometimes when it comes to, with bowling, rather. I just feel like sometimes, I'm not that good to be out there on tour, but, my talent proves me otherwise, and then of all the success I had with bowling tournaments and winning, and, I've come to realize that, you know what, I can't compete with these guys, and, I just need to have a good mind frame when I'm bowling against them. Yeah. Which brings me to seeing a sports psychologist twice a week in New York City, and he's helped me quite a lot too with just believing more in who I am as a person.
What's crazy is that I've been hearing a lot of athletes are actually starting to see psychologists about.
Yeah, it's completely normal. I mean, there's nothing wrong with seeing someone and just talking to them about bowling, and my doctor actually connects bowling through life itself, and that's why cool. He's one of the best around.
That's awesome. It makes so much sense, to be honest.
I think that on the show, what's up, man, Monk here. I think that on the show we associate sports with life so much. It's
it is life.
We eat, sleep, and breathe sport. So I feel like you beating yourself up a little bit, and if you're discouraged at a time, that's only you just being a perfectionist at what you do.
Right.
You wanted to strive to be the greatest.
One thing about me is I'm very I love being a perfectionist. I mean, it could hurt me sometimes, but in the overall picture, it definitely comes out as a good positive.
Definitely. I was actually going to ask you, I'm a big tennis guy, so tennis is an individual sport along with the likes of, golf. You have your coaches, and obviously, you have your help. But with the sport that is so individual, it's not a team sport, is there anyone particularly in the sport who you're afraid of going up against? Everybody has their bitter rival in a one-on-one. You have Federer, Djokovic in tennis, and, Tiger Woods trying to be Rory McIlroy's rival. Is there anyone particular in the PBA that strikes fear?
So the thing with bowling, and I'm going to be blatantly honest, is that when you're up against an opponent, you're really bowling against yourself. Yeah. You're bowling against the lane and the ball you choose and matching up with the lane. It's all about what ball you have in your hand today. The conditions, the way they're demanding right now, it's all about what kind of rock you have in your hand and the layout, really. I don't really focus much on my opponents, when I'm bowling. I just feel like if I focus on my shot making, usually, good things happen.
Right. Everything else will come with it.
Yeah. I mean, of course there are bowlers out there who fear others and whatnot, but I have a different mind frame on how to go about that. And thankfully, my doctors show me some great mental tools for that too.
How about when you're bowling? Let's say if you're 6 frames through and you're down, do you start maybe to feel a little down? Would you rather obviously play with a lead?
So here's the thing, and I gotta be honest. When I'm in matches, especially in championship matches, I happen to be down in matches quite often, and
I know the feeling.
Be honest with you, and I've always had this perception of just count down the frames, just make it one shot at a time, throw as good as you can, and it's in your own destiny. And thankfully and fortunately for me, I've ended up coming ahead most of the times.
Yeah. That mindset definitely worked.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, and it's Nell here, and
switch mics.
Switch.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
It's Nell here.
And, you know, on the drive up here to the studio, I was wondering, my true question was, like, say your form's there, your release is there, you're hitting the pocket you want to, and the pitcher is not dropping. What kind of adjustments do you make mid-game? And I think that goes state of mind. I'm actually glad you brought that up because I know if that was happening to me, my head's going in different directions, and you could get easily frustrated as a bowler. I mean, everyone who's played bowling knows on the release if it's going to be a strike or not, where it's going to go. You could honestly turn around and start walking backwards.
Yeah.
You get that shocking, oh, my God, why is there 2 pins up?
Stone 10.
Yeah. It's like, so I just want to talk about your mid-game adjustments, you know, when you're feeling it, but you're not getting your results.
Yeah.
How do you keep composure?
The thing is, you know, I practice 4 times a week for 2 hours every day, and I pick a pair in the house, which is obviously my favorite pair in the house, 27, 28, and I put out 2 patterns, and I just work on my game on being versatile so that can never really happen. You know, unfortunately, every bowler goes to that, and I do also. I'm not, you know, robotic, and you know, it's part of the sport and part of the game. And you know, if you're not satisfied with how you're bowling that one day, you just have to pretty much, you know, work on your game that much harder. You know, learn from your mistakes and just move forward and practice. You know.
All right, and it's Francesco here. I have a question because, I mean, everyone here plays sports. You're playing a sport. You're professionally playing a sport. And I know a lot of professionals have superstitions or rituals that they do for a game, before a game, after a game, whatever it be during a game. Do you have anything that you specifically do when it comes to bowling? Like a specific meal, maybe? Like, you know, do you wear the same socks? Different shoes?
I actually don't have any rituals at all.
Nice. Nice.
Well, best ritual.
Every bowler has a routine before they set up on the approach, as far as like maybe brushing their shoe off.
That's
or
great.
Putting some rosin on their hands. You know, things like that. I do every shot, even when I practice. You know, it's just part of the motion. Right? Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I would forget me. I'd probably have 2 different pair of shoes, a different shirt after every throw. I'd be asking for bumpers, the whole deal.
What's up, Ann? It's Joe again.
Hey, Joe.
Getting off the PBA a little bit, what are your views, you know, with the state of bowling right now? And I know that we're both the members of the UBA. What do you kind of like? Where do you see that going? Do you see that? You know, where do you see the potential for that is? I mean, we've been in contact with.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like the UBA, since it first came out, it's grown so much. I mean, there are UBA teams all around the country, you know, and I'm so happy to see that, you know, that it's growing that good, you know. And there's even a UBA team that PBA bowlers are on.
Right.
I don't know what the team name is, but I know there's a couple of good guys, Kelly Kulik and Stuart Williams, Tom Baker.
Well, that was the team that called out Lou.
Yeah.
Vanilla Gorilla.
That's right.
I can't make this stuff up. That's his name on the back of the jersey. You have to see some of the names on the back of these UBA jerseys. They're absolutely Pep. What's yours?
It's pretty priceless. Mine's just Pepster. Keep it
very
simple.
easy.
What's yours?
Me, Captain Jack.
Captain Jack. Nice.
I won't go into. All right, I'm going to tell you why it's Captain Jack. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with that. Not even that. I'm going to be honest, and let me tell you where that name came from. In the bowling alley that I'm a part of, which is Van Est, I am unfortunately known as Jackass. Okay? And I was not going to put Jackass.
Not Jack's back.
I was not going to put Jackass on the back of a UBA jersey because that would have been just like a bullseye on my back. So I changed it to Captain Jack. You know, so every time I strike, you know, I raise my leg, you know, so you know, we'll kind of go like that.
They gave you lemons and you made iced tea.
Exactly.
Captain Jack. I like that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Absolutely. Listen, go ahead.
And I was gonna say I have 2 questions. One, are you a big fist pumper? Like you hit a big strike or big spare? You're big on fist pumps? Are you a big reaction, or are you like just cool, calm demeanor, walk back to your seat?
Are you like Ernie McCracken?
Yeah, exactly. Are you big Ernie McCracken, or are you more?
I'm the
Laurie
complete
Munson?
opposite of Ernie here. I'm very humble, very
stoic.
modest.
He's
you
a
know,
Munson.
Yeah.
Very cool, collected.
So
You know,
he's
when
not
I'm
like
in
me.
when I'm in title matches and I need a shot, yeah, I mean I'll fist pump it and I'll get all excited and stuff. But I need to really focus on the next shot and not get overexcited.
Yeah, you can't get too much ahead of yourself.
You're better
Yeah,
than me.
exactly.
I mean, it's got to be different though in the PBA event as opposed to like you guys. And I'm gonna invite you all
I'll be
coming
there.
soon to a UBA event.
Oh, I want
Let
to
me
go.
tell you, there is nothing like it.
You
where
guys,
if you
have to come there. I mean, it's all about trash talking and
yeah.
and just completely
Like-
diminishing your opponents.
Absolutely. Like
That's awesome.
I'll throw a ball and I don't strike as often as he does. But when I do, I turn around, I do a donkey kick.
Yeah.
Like I'm all about kicking the pins, not even looking. I'm leaving a
You're
7-10
basically the
split.
complete opposite of Fox.
I'm the complete
You have to
opposite
try
of
out
Pepe.
for the UBA, or is it like a sign up your own
Well,
team?
basically what it is someone can start up a franchise. Just recruit your bowlers. You create a jersey. You pick a house.
And then you guys bowl.
And then you bowl. And
That's
literally, we do ranking matches. My team is Apocalypse. We just
Is it
went out to Rhode
money
Island.
or-
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's season matches and there's ranking matches. The season matches, final 4 teams bowl at Battle Bowl, which is the biggest event at Carolina Lanes in New Jersey. I think first prize is what, 20,000?
I think it's is it 10 or 20? I'm not sure.
It's up there. Whatever, regardless what it is, it's a nice
Yeah.
chunk of change.
It's pretty high. Yeah.
You do tutoring? Because I'm willing to get
put a team in.
Let me tell you something. You wouldn't want tutoring from me. Call him.
Oh, that's what I'm asking. I'm not asking you, Foz.
No, yeah, no. Don't ask me.
And
I get
another
awesome.
question was, have you ever completed a 7-10 split?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever completed a 7-10
I have
split?
a few times. Yes, I have.
You have.
A few times. I've left him a few times.
a few times.
A few times.
I bowl a
Trust
strike.
me,
I slide
trust
down
me,
the lane.
It wasn't all skill. It was all pure luck.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what that.
A little bit of both. You're
So
being modest.
with the UBA, like if I bowled a strike, because I probably bowl one every 14 years, would I be allowed to slide down the lane in excitement?
No, that's a foul.
I get a
that'd be
foul?
foul.
That's a foul.
Come on.
That's a foul. Sorry.
We got to make this a little bit more extreme
Do
then.
you know what a foul is?
No. No, I really don't.
Can't go over the line.
Can't go over the line.
Oh,
Come
so
on.
the line is a foul?
Go over the line. It's a foul.
What if I want to throw the ball in the
Fran,
other lane because I have a better opportunity?
One
with
thing
the
I will
pins?
tell you to do and will tell you not to do in the UBA is don't ever miss a 5-pin.
Oh, do not miss a 5-pin.
Ever.
What does that mean? Oh, you get slapped, right?
You get powdered. And I'm talking
You get
powdered.
slapped and powdered.
Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. Like they literally take you outside with baby powder and they just slap you across the face, and it's great.
I have a question for you and for Anthony.
got
Do you, in your opinion too, do you think that it works against you or for you that you're a southpaw?
I think it works for him.
It works for
There's a
him?
lot less southpaws than there
there's
are.
Less in your sport, right?
Yeah, I mean, typically when you get on an easier condition as far as a house pattern is concerned, we have more of an advantage because there's not as much traffic. Now, let's say you get on a let's just say the PBA Scorpion pattern, okay? That's one of the harder patterns out there on tour, and let's say I'm the only lefty on my pair. There's not enough traffic, obviously, because I'm the only one there. So it's much harder to break down the pattern, which makes it a lot difficult for me to strike more. Because you have the righties, blowing up a spot on the lane, and here I am trying to hit, a dime out there.
Right.
And it's, that's the way it's been going for a couple of years now. I spoke to my good friends, Parker Bone and Ryan Simonelli, and, they've been struggling out there. Every now and then they'll catch some breaks and make a TV show and even win. But it's a rarity, unfortunately.
Wow. Thanks, Ant. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Ant. Well, we have one question from a fan. I
Sure.
do want to get to you. I'm actually pulling it up right now. It's a pretty good question he asked.
Sure.
The question was, here it is. What tips would you give somebody about how you handle yourself when you know you're going to be on TV? Like, here it is. Okay, question for Anthony. What tips did you receive to prep your mental game for TV, and which worked best for you? From
So-
Jeff Copperthite.
So I'm going to go back to qualifying on the cheetah pattern. Storm Rep Jimmy Callahan told me to just pretty much count down the frames, and doing that just kind of eases off the pressure more. Honestly, I mean, it's very simple, counting down the frames. Gee, who would have thunk it, But it works when you really are in that type of scenario, and okay, the first frame's over, you struck, fine, on to the next one, and you just count down. And for me, that really worked well on TV.
Absolutely.
Well, and whatever this sports psychologist is doing, man, it seems to be working.
Definitely working.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You have a very cool, calm demeanor about you, man.
Yeah.
Definitely going to work for you.
Actually, I got another question coming in from Chris. Since resin bowling balls were introduced to the sport of bowling, do you think it has strengthened or weakened the sport as a whole?
It by far strengthened the entire sport. It actually, it has some pros and cons to it, because a lot of professional bowlers back in the 80s can't compete anymore because there's resin balls, and they just don't have, that ability to compete with, the Belmos and the Sean Rashes and the Pete Webbers, it's just, Pete Weber and Walter Ray and Duke and all them, they've adapted to the resin balls because they've come from back in, the 80s. But some guys on tour kind of quit the game because they just can't really, match up well, But I feel like in an overall picture, it strengthened the sport because the bowling balls are so strong today, and they just help a lot of bowlers.
It's incredible, the evolution of sport.
Yeah, it really is.
It's the evolution of sport.
I always wonder, how would it be, in 2024, in 10 years from now? Like, are they going to make stronger balls than the Crux?
That's a good question.
If they do, I will be getting it, because if there was a way to have negative hand, that's what I have.
Negative hand.
Yeah, no, really. Like, these guys, that's what bowling term is for, like, how much you get on the ball. Like, I got a lot of hand. I have zero. Like, it's impossible. Like, I can make any ball go straight, literally.
Right.
I'm telling you, give me the Crux, it will go straight as an arrow.
I don't know about that.
No, believe me, I've done it already. I use it for my 10 pence.
But.
And I got a question, actually. Switch mics. Oh, sorry. And I got a question, actually.
What's up, man?
Yes. What would you suggest for a kid, like, since you started at 6 years old, to get the youth going into ball? Like, people, like, their first sport is soccer, you go bring them to a soccer camp. Tennis, you bring them to tennis camp. Hockey, you go to a hockey camp. Like, you don't hear, we're going to go to bowling camp. Like, for me, growing up bowling, it was a lot of fun. I loved bowling. On to the extreme and try to make a living out of it and enjoy it and all these things. So what would you suggest to make the sport of bowling grow? Because I know it has base population, but how do you take it to the next level? And there's always a next level in any sport.
There are guys on tour who are still learning the game. For example, Norm Duke and all those guys. They're Hall of Famers, and they're just always learning. There's always something to learn from. And I feel like for a beginner who's just coming out bowling and going to tournaments and all that, I would recommend going to a clinic. Go to Kegel Training Center, go to the ITRC Center in Dallas. I've been there, and they're both fantastic facilities. A coach that I talk to a lot is Mark Baker. Mark Baker is one of the best coaches in the world, and he's the man to go to if you're having some problems with your form. He knows everything. He's great.
And you seem to rub elbows with basically everybody big in the industry.
Yeah, I'm a very friendly, down to earth guy. I just like to be friends with everyone. And
you're better than me. Oh man.
All right, and it's Dugan again. I got another question for you. You've been in obviously a lot of competitions and everything like that with the UBA, PBA, and everything like that. What's the atmosphere like at like a PBA event? Like I've never actually been to one. I definitely want to go to one, but like how's the atmosphere, the crowd, and everything like that?
The crowds are that I feel like when I was qualifying for the cheetah pattern, and I shot 300 game 2 in the round of 24. And there was at least maybe 100 people in the back just cheering me on, and the feeling, it's something that I crave for, you know. It's what bowling is really all about, is about your fans. It's about people who are, you know, just who are interested in watching you bowl, you know. I feel like the people watching the tour versus any amateur event, you know, if I'm in, you know, if unfortunately, I hate saying this, but if I'm at a NEBA tournament and, you know, I'm in the title match, there's like maybe 10 people in the back where, you know, I bowl in a regional, you know, I've won a few times there and there's a much bigger crowd, you know. So the PBA obviously draws more attention, and if you want to get your name recognized and you want to be able to show the world who you are, you know, I feel like you have to get your PBA card and bowl with the best of us.
I gotcha. Would you say that you like thrive off that energy from the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, it's a crave that you just endure, you know. I mean, it's something that, I mean, they motivate you, you know. Like, let's say if I had Fun 11, right, obviously, and, you know, they're cheering, they're clapping, that just motivates you to get that one more strike for the 300 game. And when I did, it felt like I just, you know, won the lottery, you know, even though it was just a 300 game. But it felt so good because I didn't let them down, you know.
I can only imagine bowling a 300. That's insane.
And that was my first one as a PBA member, so it was very, very important for me. To me.
Oh, of course.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
So, and just basically tell everyone what we're going to be watching. You know, this coming Sunday, ESPN. You know,
I
give
will
us,
be watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give us a little preview as to what we get to see. You know, I'm going to watch you over football this week. Well, at least I'll go back and forth. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to completely.
I'm bowling the first match against Liz and Brad.
Ah.
It's going to be quite an interesting match. So I don't want to spoil it for any of you guys. I would rather have you on your edge of your seats as you watch it, and see how it goes.
Yes. All right. Well, and
wait. I had one question.
Yeah,
I wanted to know how many 300s you've bowled in your
more than me
career.
Oh man, I honestly, it's gotta be around 80 or 90.
What?
Yeah.
I can't even do that in a week.
Oh my god!
Serious?
One in my life I could never do.
Yeah.
You could give me 80 years.
80 or 90.
289 is my high. That's it.
I don't even think I can get to the seventh frame.
Anthony, I gotta be honest.
Now,
I don't think I both would have
modesty out the window.
That's counting non-sanctioned tournaments too. I mean, in
Yeah,
league,
whatever.
maybe I probably have around maybe 40 or 50, but and like, you know, and like combined throughout my whole life, probably around.
How old were you when you bowled your first one?
I was, oh god, I have a trophy. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, it's like that?
It's like that one down.
He's got a rummage through all his bowling trophies.
He's got the Wall of Fame going on. Hold on.
He's gonna be like that 65-year-old bowl, like in the garage, just like 100 bowling trophies, and son's gonna be like,
national treasure.
What'd you do?
He goes down to the basement.
A good friend of mine, he was there when I first shot my 300. I was 12 years old.
Oh my!
On 7 and 8.
Commercial.
And he made me a bowling pin. Unfortunately, he passed away many years ago. And he made this pin for me, and it just says congratulations on your first 300. I'm so proud of you. And
That's your most special.
it's just it's so sentimental to me, you know.
That's
And,
awesome, man.
It's pretty amazing.
And I'm rooting for you.
Absolutely,
man.
we're all
Definitely
rooting for
on
you.
my
Keep it up.
radar. I'm rooting
Thank you,
for
guys.
brother.
Thank
And
you.
we also, January 3rd, if you are available, we're going to be at Strike 10 Lanes doing a little UBA event with the Wrecking Crew. I know
Nice.
it's both enemies for us.
Unfortunately, I'm going to be in Vegas bowling
me too.
Team USA trials.
Oh, very nice. Well, best of
Yeah.
luck to you,
Thank
and
you.
we'll
Thank you, guys.
we'll hopefully see you at one of the events coming up soon. But
Oh,
thanks for coming on.
absolutely.
Best of luck, Anthony.
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
guys so
man.
much
Best
for
of luck
having
to
me.
you,
Oh,
man.
pleasure. Anytime. Come back
Have fun
on.
in Vegas.
Anytime
Break the
you-
phase.
Yeah, anytime you want to come on, give us a call.
Absolutely.
You got it, man. Thanks a lot.
You
Take
got it.
care.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
See ya.
Awesome, man.
12 years old.
12 years old, 300?
Yeah.
Guys, I play Xbox Connect Bowling. I still can't bowl 220. There's not even a ball in my hand.
I can't hit a strike on the Wii.
Yeah,
All right, Fred? All right? I couldn't get a strike on the Wii.
And there's a cheat
How much
code
do you
for
love
that.
the tennis in the
Oh,
Wii,
it's
though?
awesome.
I dive.
I'm Federer.
Jesus.
Grand Slam.
Oh man,
It's incredible. Every sport, no matter the sport, whether it's rowing, whatever it is,
You wanna
there's
be
such
the
a challenge
best
you want.
You want to be the best at
It's
it.
true.
I don't care what it is. If it's
Absolutely.
hopscotch,
But that's
I wanna
what makes
win.
the best athletes, because you compete against yourself.
they
You
have
know,
that drive.
Fox.
That drive is unbelievable.
I'll tell you something, man. Personally,
Yeah.
from the vibe I got, he's a stud.
calm, level-headed.
Yeah, he's just like I said. He's very
good head on
you
his shoulders,
you watch him bowl, and it's just like holy. It's
poetry in motion.
Exactly. And you know
Poetry
what's
in
funny?
motion.
That's someone's name in the UBA.
Well, he's got to take.
Well, he should be on that team.
Well, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a
Gypsy.
female bowler.
I just want to say
nice.
one thing. The one thing I got from what he said when you want to play with the best of us. He didn't say the best of them. When he's talking about the PBA and going through the
included
different
himself,
levels,
yeah.
he included himself. Whoever his psychologist is working.
Really good.
Yeah, because you sometimes naturally be like, the best of, them and stuff like that, even though you're within.
1,000%.
Yeah, it's so subconscious. That dude is going to be.
He believes he can play with the best. He believes he can beat the best.
Anthony, if you're
That's
still
why he is
watching,
the
can you
best.
tweet me the psychologist number?
why
I
he
can use a
named
meeting.
Yeah, the best is
That's why your chips.
Fran. The best is a friend of mine just texted me. He goes, well, that makes my 18-300s look like nothing. Like it's just like it's like come on. Thanks for rubbing it in, guys. I haven't thrown one yet. I haven't reached that.
Are you ever close?
I've 10 in a row,
I was gonna
and then
say,
it's
have you
just
made the
like
10th frame?
I've
You overthought
You
it.
have to get 12
Yeah.
bro.
Well,
And
you
you
guys
got to
both.
send you to his psychologist.
It's like this. You start.
unbelievable,
You start shaking like a leaf. Let me tell you, I don't care
I
who you
legit
are.
have to hit 12.
I would legitimately throw a gutter ball if
And
I was that
the
close.
worst part.
I legitimately would be shaking.
yeah.
No, the
I'd
worst
throw it right
part
in the
is
gutter.
like,
I'd go
especially where
home.
like we are, like if anyone's out of respect, like when you know someone's on that pace, especially if they get to the 10th
You
frame,
leave 'em-
usually
you tend to leave 'em
everyone
alone.
kind of takes a step
It's
back.
kinda
and-
like a pitcher
And
when
I said bowl, don't no, because I know that if you're not bowling, you're watching me. I don't want that.
you know who he
It's
is?
just more nerves.
You know who he is? He's the annoying Spanish shortstop in the dugout that's putting sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
That's throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody's leaving alone. He's got his jacket on, and this guy's sprinkling sunflower
'Cause he's trying to
seeds
keep
on
him
the net.
loose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I just no.
Pretty awesome,
I need
man.
everything. Listen, I was throwing strikes with everyone. Keep it going. Don't stop,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all of a sudden make it some spectacle.
Right,
when it
right.
happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't.
Correct.
But just keep it going.
What's
you
meant
know?
to be is meant to be.
Exactly.
They're unbelievable. Best of luck.
Great
Sunday.
Great
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday's
I'm
NFL
telling you
Sunday.
right
I'm
now,
me too.
this is not-
Bowling is back.
Bowling is back.
Sunday, 1 o'clock.
This is not a ploy to get our audience. I will be watching.
Watching.
So I'm really interested in
Yeah.
watching.
And I will be
No,
giving
I really-
feedback the following
Oh, yeah,
Wednesday.
Yep.
I can't wait for bowling on Sunday. I've been waiting. I'm sick of NASCAR on Sundays.
Yes.
Thank you, bowling is back.
Yes.
I can't wait.
PBA is
You
back.
really do always watch.
I always
Every
He
Sunday.
always watches. He really does.
It
Guys,
is included in the football Sunday. It is. No, it really is.
Tennis
Yeah.
is back in January. Australian Open. Let's go.
I'm telling you guys, wait till January.
Hockey's been on.
Wait till January 3rd when we're at a UBA event. You guys are going to see bowling like you have never seen before. Believe me, no,
Pull the curtain
Fran,
back on
I'm
bowling.
telling you, you might join just for the shit talking. Like these guys.
What kind of
are-
representation am I?
Oh, he's gonna take us into the world of underground bowling.
You're yes.
Underground Bowling
Yeah,
Association.
exactly. The UBA. Yes.
I already got Nar's team name, the Raiders.
Gypsy, where's your commercial break? No, I'm serious.
That's it. He's the Raider.
Stop the talk.
Yes.
Let's take a commercial. That was really good, though. I really hate you. I really do. Can we take a commercial break and come back with some Champions League and some NCAA?
We're gonna get you to laugh. We're gonna get you to cry. We might get you to jerk off. We're not really sure.
Chicks with strap-ons, and you're engaging in sexual congress with a transsexual.
I had no idea. Tell me more. On a world where Broken Filter Live could thrive.
Giddy up!
Are you a smoker and you need to quit, but you're discouraged cause it's harder than some like to admit? Baby, why plays paper? Baby, why plays paper? Are you a non-smoker but you like to do the tricks? Well, these are non-toxic clouds that exit your lips. Baby, why plays
Plains Vapors, located at 210 Mamaroneck Avenue in White Plains, New York. Visit our location and choose from a wide selection of exotic flavors. They were once knighted by the creator of Ustream.tv.
3 Knights of Ustream.
In being the 3 Knights of Ustream, their mission is to help turn up the volume on the last source of freedom of speech there is, the internet. So join the flagship show of the Zanalza Entertainment Network, Zanalza, New York, every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live from ZenLive.tv. They'll show you just how it's done in the World Wild West. ZenLive.tv! Independent music, alternative news, the underground and the underrated. Addicted to Ink, a proud sponsor of the Zanalza Entertainment Network, is Westchester's premier tattoo, piercing, and apparel destination, offering only the finest tattoo and piercing services as well as the best atmosphere you will find. Addicted to Ink is located conveniently at 38 Westchester Avenue in White Plains, New York, right across the street from the Westchester Mall. If you got the itch for more ink, like the Zanalza boys do, get your work done right. Visit www.addictedtoinktattoos.com for more information.
So latest news in the Onnit world, new Alpha Brain formula, which is just a slight tweak on the old formula.
It's fascinating to me that this is a new frontier. Every single report I've gotten back is positive. All these people that have tried it, I'm getting testimonial after testimonial.
I think Alpha Brain's amazing. That was the first supplement I took from them, and just like you hear, I think you feel amazing. Overall, feel great. Mental focus, feel sharp.
By the way, Max Eberly, one of the best pool players, a great instructor, is just raving about Alpha Brain.
3 hours of sleep at the most, and it would keep me focused throughout the day and ready to go.
Awesome dreams at night, lucid dreams. You know, my girlfriend Sarah takes it. She was like talking about flying around. I definitely had some pretty intense dreams with it as well.
Do you realize there are dreams in the middle of them?
No.
Because I'm doing that all the time.
Welcome back to Pipe Bomb Sports. After the break, thanks for tuning back in. Now we got to talk about something very serious.
Very
serious.
That we haven't discussed in a while.
It's been a while because we've had some emotional distress with the sport. We needed just to take a week.
You're right.
And regroup.
Yeah.
But the group stages are done in Champions League.
Soccer will do that to you.
It does.
Yeah,
it really does. Like, it makes you just like, why do I love
Wears
this
you
sport?
out. Yeah.
You know? I mean,
today had to be discussed. This was the last match day of Champions League.
I'm upset. It's not entirely upset, but I'm upset.
You don't have too much to be upset.
Yeah, you don't have too much to be upset. You guys are into the next.
But for my league, I'm a little disappointed. That's all. You know,
Absolutely.
I wanted Roma to really get through. They're a good team, a good product, and
you know what? I want
they bit themselves in the foot.
But you know, Fran, are they really the team that you thought they were? Because I saw today an undermanned Manchester City. No Yaya Toure, no Sergio Aguero, no Vincent Kompany. Go in there and win 2-0. Who
dominated the game though?
Who dominated the game? Fran. 2-0.
Oh, the count. Okay.
Whatever. 2-0.
You're right. The winner won.
The winner won.
That's
I
it.
mean,
See, I want.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. If you would have said, "Oh, you control your own fate at home. All you got to do is draw 0-0 or win the game," would you be confident in your side? Of course you would.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to be.
They only had a draw.
They only had to draw 0-0.
Yeah.
If it was 1-1, they didn't advance. But
I told someone that, and they said
no.
no.
No, 0-0 or
right.
win the game. Yeah.
I'm gonna smack someone when I get back.
So I mean,
That's it.
they didn't get it done. But I agree. It is sad for Italy. On my end,
the EPLs,
the better
Chelsea.
league, the better league got through.
The better league than anything.
I say one thing. My team, Chelsea, they look fantastic. You knew they were gonna wrap that.
You know, I want you. I actually, as a Juventus fan, I said some of the teams I don't mind playing. Chelsea's one of them.
You want us?
I have no issue. If
In
we get
Champions
drawn
League.
Friday, I'll say, okay, we have a shot.
Friday's the draw. It's gonna be very exciting draw.
That was great.
I don't know who's gonna play who. We do know who is in, right?
Yes,
officially now.
Oh, we know everything.
With the
We got-
results.
we got-
Okay.
so the winners we got are Atletico,
Okay.
Real Madrid, AS Monaco.
Okay.
Monk's through.
Monaco. Yeah, I'm in.
As a
Bayern
winner.
Munich,
Bayern Munich, of course.
Barcelona,
Barcelona.
Chelsea, Porto, and Borussia Dortmund. Those
Borussia.
are our winners.
Okay.
All right. Then our runners-up,
The beloved.
Our second places.
FC Basel, Bayer, Arsenal, Manchester City, PSG.
Wow.
And then two other teams. I never could pronounce their names right.
Shakhtar Donetsk and FC
Yeah,
Schalke.
yeah. The fact that you
Di
would say that
Matteo.
that's smooth
Di
is
Matteo gets through.
Di Matteo gets through.
They got
won't-
in over
they won't
Sporting.
make it very far.
Right? They got in over Lisbon.
Yes, over Lisbon because of Chelsea. Thanks
Right.
to Chelsea. It's funny because the ex-Chelsea coach needed help from the current Chelsea team, and they gave it to him
Yeah.
today. Hey, listen, Schalke still had to win their game.
Yeah,
they won
they
today,
did.
1-0 against Maribor. A win's a win.
I don't count
It's
them
on
out
the
either.
road. It's on the road. Going forward, some really tantalizing matchups. Like next
Scary.
week, we will be discussing the matchups that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, after the
right
draw.
now, it's merely speculation as
Yeah,
to who we could
spec.
think is, but your team right now, okay, based on who you could potentially be matched up.
Barcelona. Oh.
Who is your top two that you're
Afraid to play?
afraid to play?
Bayern Munich
and
Real Madrid.
On Real Madrid, correct.
Period.
Okay.
I'm gonna read you a stat about Real Madrid that's gonna blow your mind.
Blow my mind.
Real Madrid's last 19 games.
Oh, geez.
Okay, 19 wins, 71 goals scored, 9 goals conceded, 11 clean sheets. This is their last 19 games.
Are you
in all
serious?
competitions. Yeah. 19-0 and 71 goals for, 9 conceded. This team
absurd.
is unbelievable.
71 goals?
That's almost four goals a game.
And I have a quote from Paul Pogba about the upcoming draw. He said, "The draw, it doesn't matter. We're playing to progress and be the strongest. With the team we've got, we could go far." So you've got to be confident. You know, your great young player is confident in his team. Yeah, he's becoming a leader.
Speaking of Juve players outspeaking themselves,
please.
Llorente made a very powerful statement that if Ronaldo and Messi were in Serie A,
they wouldn't be.
They would not be as good as they are right
Didn't
now.
we discuss this?
Yeah, that's.
And it's the truth.
That's it's debatable.
I guarantee it.
I think Ronaldo, anywhere you put him, the guy could score.
Yeah.
He could score on the Great Wall of China.
He's scoring 40 goals in the season, though? No.
I think he could.
In Italy.
I think he could.
It's a chess game.
I think he could. I think he could. Given he's on the right team.
Oh, of course.
Given the right team.
Him on my roster right now with this Juventus team, yes, he'd score 45
I think him.
goals.
You know who I'd love to see him on, and I'm gonna get bashed for this. I'm already gonna say it.
Napoli.
No, I'd love to see him on Torino.
Oh, Torino.
I really would. I knew it. Look.
Juventus plays in Torino.
I know.
I'm just why? Fiorentina?
Huh?
You know what the thing that I'm interested with Champions League now at this stage is you had the games, teams could
Look
draw.
what Immobile did there. Imagine what Ronaldo could do over there.
Yeah.
Imagine what Ronaldo
Frank,
could do there.
I love the fact of the upcoming 2 legs. I love the 2 legs. I love that the rolled goals count for the tiebreaker. I think that it speaks to tactics. It speaks to how you have to set your team up.
coach is the
and
winner
that's
here.
why a Mourinho, a Carlo Ancelotti, that's why they seem to advance farther than other coaches every year. A Pep's
Pep's
you
going to
know,
be there.
Truth be told, there was really no shocks of who advanced, right? Were we shocked with anything? I mean, we knew either Roma or Man City.
That was the flip.
I have to say one thing. I'm very disappointed. I was a little disappointed in the ref in the Liverpool game yesterday. That red card on Markovic. No, it was a hand. It was a red card on Markovic. He kind of like. I say he was about as far as you were from me, and he didn't need to. He stuck his arm out, and theatrically, the other player, Safari, the defender,
They really need to start giving out Oscars.
It's terrible.
To soccer players.
They are talking about it in FIFA. They are considering the idea of a penalty box in soccer for someone doing that.
Wow, that would be. Wow, that's an unbelievable idea.
I think it's but does it help?
No, that's going to hurt the sport.
No.
Listen, here's my thing. Soccer right now for the everyday fan, for the is not an appealing sport to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to already be in love with the sport.
Right. You have to, that would make it better for us.
But you know what?
Because it's just an added bonus.
That's a great point because I think with soccer, I think you have to love it from the beginning because over the years, it hasn't really changed.
been the same
They've
sport for
introduced
over
the
150
thing that
years.
they've introduced was the goal line technology,
Right.
which I think is cool. I think that's really cool. For
And the spray foam.
And the
Spray foam
and
is
the
great.
spray
Spray foam
with
should have
the-
been in existence a long
Hey, but you know
time
what?
ago.
Those are two things. They're little things. They're little tweaks.
But they
I
made
think
a big
they've
difference.
improved the game. I
Absolutely.
think they've improved the game. So, hey, slowly but surely. But it's still such a great sport. This is such a historical tournament. It's got so much great history.
It's the best tournament in the world.
You know, you had teams like Napoli winning with Maradona back in the day, and Brian Clough with Nottingham Forest. They're a lower team in England now. I mean,
the run.
Yeah, they won Champions League.
Ajax in the 90s.
Ajax was so dominant in the 90s.
Dortmund in the 90s.
They say Barcelona stole their style of playing football from
did.
Ajax.
They did, right.
Ibrahimovic got his start over there.
Yeah.
Suarez got his start over there.
True.
So they're a great club with a lot of history. I'm looking forward, man. This is a great time of the year.
It really is.
This is a great time
my
of the year.
favorite.
The tables start getting deep in the domestic leagues.
minute-
Champions League round of 16.
See, now here's another thing. Like, with the teams that disappointed, like a Liverpool.
They're
and Roma.
disappointment.
Liverpool and Roma, to me, did the exact same thing. They both entered Europa
Roma
League.
was in a tough group.
Very.
And
they were more impressive than Liverpool.
Correct.
But the one thing that I will say is they were more suitable to the Europa League anyway,
Yeah.
which will benefit both of their leagues.
I think they'll do good in Europa League. Liverpool and Everton, they'll battle it out in Europa League.
Right. So we got to see Friday with the draw. I
It's
can't
going
wait
to be
for next
great.
week's Champions
It's going to
League.
be great. I can't wait to talk soccer next week.
Next week we're
gonna have some salivating matchups.
Salivating.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking soccer until the end of the show.
Yeah,
pretty
it's going to
much
be
this
awesome.
week.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so this week we keep it brief. I'm really happy we had Anthony Pepe on.
Yeah, he was
You
great.
know, it was a great PBA broadcast.
Definitely.
Upcoming soccer weekend. We had
Crunch time in the NFL, home field advantage.
Sunday night, people. If you don't see me Wednesday,
Philly Dallas battle of 9 and 4s. This is if
playoffs.
Dallas wins, don't count Fran in to see him.
No, I'll be
next week.
broadcasting from Einstein Hospital in the Bronx. Skype
The
with
psych ward.
Awesome.
I swear, I'm crying. But everybody, I'm really happy to have you all on tonight. Tonight's
Yes.
show is brought to you by Unique
Thanks,
Affairs.
guys.
Thank you to Anthony Pepe. Thank you to Foz, Monk, Nell, Dugan, Gypsy, everybody here. Have a great night. Enjoy the weather.